moving forward.
If you have plans to be outside, you might hit a couple of these little passing showers.
A drug bust and a few arrests made. Look at what they hauled in here. Well, welcome to it, huh?
A hump day on 9 News Now.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You're right. All right, so halfway home. Halfway home. I know for a lot of folks, the day's just beginning. Ours starts a little bit earlier, but here we are. The sun has risen. Boy, that's a bright ball of flame over there, about to go to work on us here in South Louisiana.
Yeah. A ball of flame over a pastel sky. And I tell you, today, not too bad in the world of temperatures, albeit it is a bit warmer today than we've seen over the last couple of days. At low 60s to start out on this Wednesday? Which
is, different than that 54, 55 that we started Monday and Tuesday. I tell you what, let's talk to Dr. Steve, see if we can't figure it out. Pretty good day today in South Louisiana. Maybe a shot of some rains. It's really tomorrow that those showers pick up.
Yeah, that's right, guys. Tomorrow's going to be the active day. Today, not so much. And as you said, kind of a nice start outside this morning. A filtered sunshine, some high, thin clouds, but a good deal of sunshine has started out. 61 Baton Rouge, 65 Gonzales. Hammond in the upper 50s at 59 degrees. If you do walk out with a light sweater or jacket, certainly not going to need it very long at all. Approaching 80 by noon, highs in the mid 80s, and I've got just a small rain chance late this afternoon on into this evening. But we're giving you a first alert to the potential of not only storms tomorrow, some of those could be strong to severe. So let's pick it up here. Our first, give you the severe weather outlook. The Storm Prediction Center and the outlook released overnight did upgrade most of southeast Louisiana to a level 2 out of 5. Slight risk of severe weather tomorrow. Damaging winds the greatest concern. Any stronger storms, but hail and isolated tornadoes not out of the question. Now here's that timeline. We pick it up midnight tonight on the HRRR, and as we advance this, you see a shower, maybe a storm. This is 6 a.m. tomorrow. Storms gathering just to our west, and the HRRR has those moving in near and shortly after daybreak. Some of our other model guidance brings it in even a little bit sooner. Bottom line is tomorrow morning looks stormy, looks active. That wave moves off to the east, maybe a little bit of a lull. Tries to bring in another disturbance. Chances are, though, those morning storms will use up a lot of energy in the atmosphere. So maybe a couple more showers tomorrow afternoon. That's 3 o'clock. And even tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, we could still squeeze out a couple more showers as a cold front moves in. But the main event looks to be tomorrow morning. Now, let's give you a look at the weekend. Lots of uncertainty with the weekend. The GFS, 1 o'clock Saturday afternoon, has it very wet here locally. Contrast that with the European model, which has it just about completely dry Saturday afternoon. Now we jump ahead to Sunday morning. GFS shows a little bit of rain. Not much. The European Sunday morning has it very wet locally. So lots of uncertainty on the weekend. We think some scattered rains at least, but the timing, boy, that's a tough call right now. So we'll keep an eye on it. Right now, 1.5 to maybe 3 inches of rain on average through the weekend. That's a bump up in those rain totals. Keep an eye on it. Could be some locally heavy downpours. Tomorrow morning going to be our most active stretch, we think, with storms likely. Friday looks good. The weekend, we're just going to have to kind of keep you updated. Check in with Jeff and Jay later today. Tomorrow morning, I'll have an update as well. Next week, though, Monday, the first day of May, looking nice. Mostly sunny, a high of 78. And we end our 10-day on Cinco de Mayo with temperatures in the mid-80s and a slight chance of showers. 7:06 now with the check on the roads. Here's Johnny H.
Yeah, and because of that forecast for tomorrow, the Council on Aging has moved their Senior Skip Day 2.0 into the Mini Dome at its Southern, so you'll still have plenty to do out there, but it's going to be at the Mini Dome tomorrow. All right, let's glance at some traffic watch cameras. First of all, we have a little bit of slower traffic right here at a couple of the intersections coming into Port Allen on LA1 northbound and right there at the Intercoastal jumping up onto the bridge. Glance through the Gonzales area. All of this on 30 and 73 is cleaned up. Our last bit of backup, and we always see this about this time of morning when school gets in because you got Duplessis schools right there on Highway 73 between the interstate and Highway 74. Up to Denham Springs, your slowest traffic is right past Juban to right before Amite River with the slowest of that over the range overpass. That's what we're seeing here with our DOTD Traffic Watch camera. And then a little brake tapping right there at the 10-12 merge on I-12 going over the interstates as you make your way to I-10. Boy, another busy breaking news morning for that. Developing news and other morning headlines. Back to Liz and Matt.
Johnny, thank you.
Yeah, you know, we wish we could be, delivering the good breaking news, and there is that from time to time. Obviously, we'd like it a little bit more, but this is what nobody wants to be talking about, but you have to right now when this is happening in your town. It continues to. BRPD now investigating 2 what they're saying, shooting deaths.
We told you about this around dinner time first yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, now we're learning the identities
Right.
of the people found in that incident. In fact, let's get you some scene video here. Last night, as Baton Rouge police kind of investigated the scene, we've now learned that the two people shot and killed at that apartment complex off of South Sherwood Forest Boulevard are 47-year-old Latoya Brown and 19-year-old Stacy Brown.
So the circumstances that surround this, that is still not being officially released just yet. Again, this is South Sherwood Forest Boulevard. If you're familiar with the area, this is just north of the interstate, I-12 there, up as you're traveling north on Sherwood Forest, away from the interstate. This apartment complex will be off on your right there. But again, they're trying to figure out exactly what happened that led to the shooting death. Again, as Liz mentioned, it's 47-year-old Latoya Brown, 19-year-old Stacy Brown. If you know anything about it, it's going to be a phone call to Crime Stoppers, clearly.
And that's not the only investigation that we're looking at, that Baton Rouge police are looking at. In fact, last night around 10 o'clock, Baton Rouge police letting us know that they're investigating a shooting on Monarch Avenue, not far from Plank Road.
Plank right
this
here.
happened around 10 o'clock last night.
And so not a lot to go on here, officially released anyway, but the one thing we did know from them is critical condition.
Yeah.
So where is that now, the person's condition, how they doing, do they have a potential suspect in mind, any kind of motive here? But there's been a number of shootings over the last number of days in Baton Rouge grabbing all the attention. So what they don't want is to just have it become another one of those, right? And the case gets lost and that kind of a thing. So fresh on your mind, 344-STOP if you can help them out and get them going in the right direction.
Please, your tips always help out in these investigations.
Really do.
A little thing can really help.
Yeah. Speaking of making that phone call, huh?
Yeah,
right here.
I know this is kind of a grainy picture here, but police really need you to take a close look to help them identify a suspected burglar, a vehicle burglar in this case. So Baton Rouge police saying that this actually happened on April 1st. So think back to earlier on this month where they say this happened on Jefferson Highway, kind of near Brandon Drive.
So yeah, if you know kind of familiar with that part of the world, you know the Jefferson Highway Park is pretty popular little spot there, pretty fun little park. It's right over there, and so they're trying to figure out who this guy is. Again, kind of a blurry shot as we show it to you here, but not a bad shot either. Obviously, some distinctive features that may be able to help you make an ID. If that person looks familiar, it's going to be the same phone number you dial for all this. It's Crime Stoppers at 344-STOP.
And you'd imagine with that busy corridor, Matt, someone is bound to have seen something at that time.
Speaking of busy, West Baton Rouge Parish, busier and busier, which means that from time to time, got to update the master plan when it comes to everything that's going on, like all the developments, all the roads to get in and around. It is that time.
The goal is to address some things that have been issues and also to prevent some things, right? So when we talk about master planning, we're talking about things like transportation, drainage, development. How is all that coming into play and how are you going to prepare for the next 10 years? Well, the West Baton Rouge Transportation and Drainage Department, they're inviting you out to a community meeting tonight to talk about all the things that you see are happening, maybe the growth happening in your neighborhood, some things that you could weigh in on.
And so this was, you know, Callie Hubbard was actually, she got a chance to talk with the folks over there, and that was part of her story this morning. Sometimes these meetings are streamed. You can watch it wherever. These aren't going to be like that, but they do have a couple different meetings that you can be a part of. Designed for folks in particular parts of the parish, so you can break it up. You can go to any one you want. You can go to all of them if you want. But they'll be talking about different parts of the parish at these meetings. So if you want to see the when, the where, the timing on all of this, Callie's got it laid out perfectly for you right here. But yeah, these are the discussions you really want to be a part of as you potentially help guide the future, the parish you live in.
First meeting's happening tonight at the Addis Community Center from 6 to 8 o'clock. As Matt mentioned, if you've complained about any given parish issue, tonight is the time to voice your opinion.
Get out there and be a part of it.
Yes.
Okay, so that's in person, this online, and actually it's perfect for maybe a digital or a tech job, an online job fair.
How about it? Remote jobs in the tech industry?
There you go.
Well, L&D Fast Start is hosting an online career fair today. It kicks off at 11 a.m. It's going to go until 2 p.m., but I believe they're hiring, what, up to 50 different positions?
Yeah, and it's not just, look, this is not just, we're broadcasting to you from the great city of Baton Rouge here, but it's not just Baton Rouge, it's Bossier City, it's Lafayette, it's New Orleans, and so it's all these different positions and all these different spots for, I'm sure, a wide range of income. So if this sounds like something you might be qualified for, certainly want to check out this story. You can actually, as we scroll down here, click here to get more information and figure out, again, as Liz mentioned, the timing on this, what's involved, where you can be employed, who's employing. It's all right there.
Get your money, people.
Get your
money.
Get your money, people.
Yeah.
So, all right, speaking of those in charge of money sometimes, our lawmakers up at the state capitol, a lot to talk about. The big talkers today could have to do with some education.
And you can see here, we're looking at a number of things that our Capitol correspondent is keeping his eye on the Capitol.
Yep.
So, in God we trust, right? We're talking about religious classes in schools and how that's going to be discussed on, what is appropriate in terms of religious phrases and sayings, and if that is taught in schools, how do you make it fair where one specific religion is not being taught, but it's fair across the board, so all ideologies and beliefs are covered.
Right, and again, these are public schools that we're talking about, and of course the idea back in the day was to not put any form of religion into public schools because it was such a diverse, very personal thing for a lot of folks. But yeah, so now the conversation is how do we, what do we put back into public schools? Big talker. We know a lot of folks are going to be watching that. I know we got your eyes on this as well. The Driving the Future campaign. Can't talk enough about it. We know where the money goes. Time's running out here.
Yes, it is. So next Monday marks the beginning of May, which means the drawing is only a couple weeks after that. You want to get your tickets now before it's too late. And remember, the organizers always say it doesn't matter when you get your tickets. Some people think waiting till the last minute is advantageous because your ticket will be at the top. They mix that hopper, so you never know. Getting your tickets now may be the best opportunity, Steve and Johnny.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Great cause, too. Great cause.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we have this date in history, 1921, the first ever weather forecast was broadcast out of St. Louis, and I know she's from this area. Rumor is was it Diane Deaton? I don't
know. Oh, no.
Good thing she's out of the country right now.
She
knows I love her.
beat you.
But that's true. First broadcast of weather today.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that footage of me doing the weather 102 years ago. We ran earlier this morning. So
aging well.
I mean, I'm feeling pretty good about 102.
Looks great, doesn't it?
Yeah, Steve, what was life like back then?
Yeah, bro.
Man.
I liked you when you were alive, Johnny. That's too bad about your death.
We'll see you in a little bit.